Good morning. Welcome back. So last class we completed binary search. We saw the execution and started with sorting. So what is sorting? Sorting is nothing but arranging the elements of a list in order. It can be either ascending or descending. Then we saw the trace, that is, we took an example and we sorted that list in ascending order using insertion sort method. So there are different kinds of sorting wherein the end result would be same, but the different types like the procedure would be different. The different types of sorting would be bubble sort, regex sort, heap sort, quick sort, merge sort, insertion sort, selection sort. So these are some of the sorting techniques. For your syllabus, we had insertion sort, and then yesterday we took a list, applied insertion sort algorithm, and we sorted it. The main thing which we need to know here is the number of elements in the list and the number of passes it requires to arrive at the sorted list. So the number of passes would be n minus 1 and the comparisons, there would be comparisons in each one. That is, there each pass, with each pass in insertion sort, the number of comparison increases. Okay, so here I'll just go through the algorithm here. I'll explain it, but when I write the program for this while loop, for the for as well as the while, same thing, I will write a trace of this when I do the program. When I write the code for sorting, the code step 1 is the sorting code here. So that code, when I write in your program, I will write the trace of it. So let me explain this in reference to the yesterday's example. So let A be the array. So A is the array with n elements. So the number of elements is n and A is an unsorted list. That is, the elements of array A is not arranged in any order. So this sorts the elements in order. Here we are applying, that is, we are sorting it in ascending order. So what is I? I is nothing but the number of passes. What is the number of passes? Up to n minus 1. Yesterday I started with pass 1. How many elements were there in yesterday's example? There were 8 elements. So 1 to 7 passes I had written. The same way here, I is nothing but I loop. I have put in that for loop is nothing but the number of passes. That is, I is equal to 1 to n minus 1. Yes, 1 to n minus 1 passes only we wrote. Pass 1, 2, 3 up to pass 7. And then j is equal to I. J is used for comparisons. How many comparisons I would be doing for each pass? So j starts from I and it goes on reducing till 1 because I compared a of 1 with 0. Then again I did not reduce. I never compared a of 0 with anything. The last comparison for each pass would be a of 1 and a of 0. So j can be either greater than 1 or equal to 1. J never becomes 0. So what am I doing here? J is equal to I. So j is the pass number. For example, it is pass 1. I will say how many comparisons were there in pass 1 in the last example? There were 1 comparison, right? So j is equal to I while j is greater than or equal to 1. So for example, for I is equal to 1, what will I write? J is equal to I, that is j is equal to 1. J greater than or equal to 1, that is j is equal to 1, it comes here. A of j, that is a of 1 less than a of j minus 1, that is a of 0. You're going to swap because in ascending order the smaller one should come before, right? The same thing you apply here. This is the algorithm. What I'll do is I'll explain you the program and then we'll revisit this algorithm so that you will understand it in a better way. So you don't have to worry about the algorithm part. We'll do the program. I'll explain you the sorting technique with it trace. So I'll write a trace for that with an example. Then we'll revisit the algorithm so that you will understand it in a better way. Fine. I'll write one step trace of that also so that you will understand it. So we'll start with the program here and then please make a note of this. This also happens to be your lab program. That is, write a program to sort the elements of an array in ascending order. So we are going to sort the elements in ascending order using insertion sort technique. Once this is done, we'll go back to the algorithm and again we'll redo it so that it will be easily understood, like you can understand it in a better way. So please make a note along with me. So we'll start with hash include iostream.h hash include conivo.h and class, let me say insertion sort, because insertion sort is a technique, it is not a keyword. In the private section, int a of 40, that is I have an array maximum of 40 integers of type integer, n is the number of elements, I and j are variables. So this is my data members, that is int a of 40, that is integer array a is of maximum 40 elements, n is the number of elements and I and j are variables. Okay, then in public I need to first take in the array in order to sort. So I need an input function void input. After that I need to sort. So I will be using the sort function. After that I need to display the sorted list to the user. So I will be calling my display function. So how many functions are there? I have 3 member functions, that is input to take in the elements of the list which has to be sorted. Sort is actually the function wherein I would be applying the insertion sort mechanism and sort the elements, and display function is used to display the sorted array to the user. So these are my member functions, and data members are 4, that is an integer array a of maximum 40 characters, and n, I, j are integer variables. The name of the class is insertion sort. So I am closing my class here. I have declared 3 functions. So now I need to define it outside the class. So how do I do that? The general syntax is return type of the function, name of the class to which it belongs to, scope resolution operator, and the name of the function. So void is the return type. Insertion sort is the name of the class to which it belongs to, scope resolution operator, and the name of the function. So I will start it here. To begin with, what should I do? I should ask the user the number of elements in the list. So cout, enter the number of elements. Number of elements C in n. So I'm going to take in the number of elements in the variable n. Okay. Now I need to ask the user to enter the array element. So how do I do that? Cout, enter array elements. So now I need to put it in a loop because it's a repetitive action. That is, I'm going to read n elements into the array repetitively. So I will be using a for loop. For I is equal to 0, I is equal to 0 because the array subscript starts from 0. I less than n. So 0 to n minus 1 is nothing but n elements I plus plus. C in A of I. Okay. After that, what would I be doing? C in A of I. I am reading the elements. Now, let me write the elements also. Because in display function, that is after the sort function, I won't get the original array which was entered by the user. I would get the sorted array. So, I want to print the unsorted list and then the sorted list so that the user can see the difference. So, let me print the unsorted list in the input function itself, because once I call the sort function, I will not get the original array which was entered by the user. So cout, enter the unsorted list, or you can say array entered by the user. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So I'm going to print it. Cout, A of I, and let me give a tab space to between the elements. Okay. So void insertion sort input. So the written type of input function is void. The name of the class to which it belongs to is insertion sort, and the name of the function is input. To begin with, I am asking the user to enter the number of elements, and I am taking it in the variable n. Once I know the number of elements, I am going to read those elements from the keyboard to the array. I am going to place it. So enter array elements. I is equal to 0 because the subscript value starts from 0. So 0 to n minus 1 is nothing but n elements. C in A of I. So I am going to take in from 0 to n minus 1. and then I'm going to print the unsorted list, because once it is sorted, I will not get the original list which is entered by the user. So in order to show the difference, like what was the entered list and what is the sorted list, I am just printing it. The unsorted list entered by the user would be printed as it is, and then I am printing with a cout statement, and I am using \t, which will give you a tab space between the elements. So I need to finish my function also. My input function ends here. Please make a note of this. Then we can start with the sort function. For sort, I will also write the trace with an array of 4 elements, that is only 3 passes, so that how it will work you will know. Then once the display function in the program is done, we can revisit the algorithm and you can understand it better. Please make a note. Then we can continue with our sort function. So we finished with the input function, wherein we took in the number of elements, then array elements, as well as I have printed the unsorted list. Let me continue with my sort function. So it is return type void insertion sort scope resolution operator, and sort is the name of the function, right? Insertion sort is the name of the class to which this function belongs to. Let me have temp, int temp, a temporary variable. Let me declare. Okay. After that, I have for I is equal to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. I have opened it. For j is equal to I, j less than, sorry, j greater than 0, j should be greater than 0, and j minus minus if a of j is less than a of j minus 1, then temp is equal to a of j minus 1, then a of j minus 1 is equal to a of j, and a of j is equal to temp. Okay, this one is for, this is for this one inner for loop, outer for loop. This is for function. This if gets over here. So this is my insertion sort function. And one more important thing you have to remember is, until the condition of the inner loop becomes false, it will not go to the outer loop. Only when the j loop is false, then it goes to the outer I loop. I is for number of comparison, sorry, I is for number of passes, and j is for number of comparisons. And comparison, how am I doing? I am using a simple if statement to compare. If it is bigger, if a swap is needed, then it will come inside, if otherwise no. So only when the j loop becomes false, the scroll will go to the I loop. Let me write a trace for this. Okay, I'm writing a trace for only this function. So let me say I have an array of, for example, let the elements be 8, 4, 2, 1. These are my elements. The location is A of 0, A of 1, then A of 2, then A of 3. These are the elements and this is the array position of these elements. So I have how many elements here? So what is the n value? N is 4 because the number of elements are 4. After that I have an int temp, one variable temp. Then I have the I is equal to 1. And what is the condition here? I should be less than n. So 1 definitely is less than n. So I is equal to 1. That is true. Then it will go inside the I loop, I for loop. Then here what do I have? I have a j, one more loop. J is equal to I. So what was the value of I? I is 1. So j is also equal to 1 and j is greater than 0. So yes, 1 is definitely greater than 0. It will come inside. When it comes inside, what happens here? Okay, it comes inside. I have a if, simple if condition, if a of j. So what is that? If a of j, what is the value of j? 1 is less than a of j minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, if a of 1 is less than a of 0, if it is true, then only it will go inside the simple if. That is, simple if condition will get executed only if this condition is true. So what is a of 1? A of 1 is 4. Yes, 4 less than 8. It is true. Yes, 4 is definitely less than 8. So the simple if condition would get executed. What is there here? Temp is equal to a of j minus 1. That is 1 minus 1. That is a of 0. So temp will get the value of a of 0. Okay. Which is what? What is the value of a of 0? A of 0 is 8 here. After that, what do I have? A of 0 is equal to a of j, that is a of 1. So, a of 0 is equal to a of 1. So, what is a of 1? So, a of 0 is equal to, what is a of 1 here? 4. 4, correct? And then a of j, that is a of 1, because j is 1 here, is equal to temp. What is the value of temp? 8. Now what would be the resultant array here? A of 0 is 4. So I will say 4. A of 1 is 8. 8, 2 and 1. After that, what happens? I will decrement the value of j. Okay, j was 1, it becomes 0. So 0 is not greater than 0. It will go to the I loop and I gets incremented by 1. So I becomes 2. Because I was 1 before, it becomes 2. So 2 is less than 4. It will come inside to the j loop, j for loop. Okay. So what is the value of What is the value of ji? I is 2 is equal to 2. And what is the value of j? J is equal to I, which is equal to 2. Correct? 2 is greater than 0. That is for j loop. Correct? 2 is less than 4. That is for the I loop. After that, what is the if condition here? If a of j is less than a of j minus 1. So, if a of j, what is a of j here? A of 2, right? J is 2. So, a of 2 is less than a of 2 minus 1, that is 1. What is a of 2 in this resultant array? A of this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. That is 2, correct? 2 less than, what is a of 1? 8. Yes, it is true. What will happen? It simple if gets executed. So what is there in simple if? In simple if I have temp is equal to a of j minus 1. So what is a of j minus 1? Temp is equal to a of j is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1, which is equal to 8. Correct? After that, what am I doing? A of j minus 1 is equal to a of j. So what is a of j minus 1? That is 2 minus 1 is a of 1 is equal to a of 2. So what is a of 2 here? 2. So it becomes 2 here. And then a of j, that is a of 2, is equal to temp. What is temp? It is 8. So what will be the resultant array? The resultant array is C, 4. After that, what do I have? A of 1. What is A of 1? It is 2. And after that, A of 2, that is 8. And then I have 1. It will go back. Decrement the value of j, that is j minus minus. J was 2, it became 1. Definitely 1 is greater than 0. So until the j loop becomes false, it will not go to the I loop. Correct? So j is 1. 1 is greater than 0. So let me write j is equal to 1. Now it will go inside the j, and what is there inside the j? If a of j minus 1 is less greater than a of j, that is if a of j is less than a of j minus 1. That was the condition, right? What is the a of j here? J is 1. So what is a j of 1? That is 2, right? 2 less than 1 minus 1, 0. That is 4. So it is true. If gets executed. What is it? Temp is equal to a of j minus 1, which is equal to a of 0. What is a of 0 here? Because j is 1 here. 1 minus 1 is 0. That is 4. After that, a of j minus 1 is equal to a of j. That is a of 1, which is equal to, what is a of 1 here? 2. 2. And that is a of j. That is a of j minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0, right? Is equal to 2. After that, a of j, a of 1 is equal to temp. What was the value of temp? It is 4. So what will be the resultant array? 2, 4, 8, 1 after this. And then goes back, decrements the value of j. What will j become? 1 minus 1, 0. So 0 is not greater than 0. It will go to the outer for loop. And I becomes 3 because I was 2. I becomes 3. 3 is definitely less than 4. Yeah, it will come back here. What is the value of I? I is equal to 3, and the inner j loop, j is equal to I. So j also will be equal to 3, wherein 3 is greater than 0. And in that I have a simple if condition. What was the condition? If a of j is less than a of j minus 1, then it will get executed. So what is a of j? A of 3 is less than a of 2. What is a of 2 here in this array? You can see this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So it is 1 less than 8. It is true. So simple if gets executed. So temp is equal to a of j minus 1, which is nothing but, what is j? 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So temp is equal to a of 2, that is 8. And then a of 2, that is a of j minus 1, a of 2 is equal to a of j, that is 1, a of 3, and a of 3, that is a of j, is equal to temp, that is 8. So my resultant array would be 2, 4, 1, 8. Okay. Now j is equal to minus minus, right? 2. J minus minus is equal to 2. 2 is greater than 0 according to the condition. 2 is greater than 0. This is my condition over here. So 2 is greater than 0. It will come here, a of j is less than a of j minus 1. Again the same condition. So a of 2, because a of j is a of 2 less than a of 2 minus 1, that is 1. What is a of 2? A of 2 here in this array is, this is a of 0, this is a of 1, this is a of 2. So 1 less than 4. Correct? True. So the simple if would get executed. In that I said temp is equal to a of j minus 1. So a of 1 is nothing but temp, and a of j minus 1 is a of 1 is equal to a of j, which is a of 2. What is a of 2 here? It is 1, and then a of j, that is a of 2, is equal to temp, that is 4. So the resultant array would be 2, 1, 4, 8. Then j minus minus, j was 2 here, so j minus minus is j is equal to 1, and 1 is greater than 0. So it will come again. You have to check a of j minus, if a of j is less than a of j minus 1. That was the condition in if, right? So what is a of j? A of 1 is less than a of 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So what is a of 1 here? In this a of 1 is 1 less than 2. That is true. So it will go inside the if. In the first statement, temp is equal to a of j minus 1, which is a of 0, which is equal to 2. And then a of 0, that is a of j minus 1, a of 0 is equal to a of j. What is a of j here? It is 1, because j is 1. Then a of j is equal to temp. What is temp? It is 2. So the resultant array would be 1, 2, 4 and 8. Then j becomes 0. 0 is not greater than 0. It will go to the outer for loop. In outer for loop again I plus plus. So what was the value of I? I was 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So 4 is not less than 4. It will go out of the loop and the stops. The function gets completely executed. By the end of that, we would have arrived. See, we have arrived at the sorted list. When you have to pay attention to this, I know you might have felt it is confusing. When I'm explaining, please make a note in the side of it that while the if condition, so that you can apply it properly. So this is how I arrived at my sorted list, and this is the trace of it. That is, to begin with, I and j both are 3. Yes, no, not 3 here, sorry. Here, this is my array. N is 4, I is 1, j is 1, and j loop will execute until it is greater than 0, and every iteration it reduces by 1. And I'm checking a of j is less than a of j minus 1. So 1 and 0 I am checking here. If it is true, then I have a temporary variable to swap the values, and this is the resultant array after swapping. The next iteration of the next pass is I is 2 and j is 2. So j is 2, j is 1. Twice it will execute. There will be two comparisons. Again, if a of j is less than a of j minus 1, that is second and the first element. If it is true, there is a swap, and then j gets reduced by 1. Again you check 1 and 0. If it is true, there is a swap. Then once j becomes 0, it goes to the outer for loop, and again the same procedure happens. Hope you have understood. I know it is little confusing. So what you can do is write the code, take this and you write the trace of that in paper. You will understand it in a better way. After that, let me continue my program. So what is my program continuation? My program continuation would be writing the display function, because I am done with my sorting, and then I will be writing my display function. After that, I will write my main, which would complete my program itself. So void insertion sort scope resolution operator and display. So cout endl the sorted array for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. C out A of I backslash T. This is the end of for. This is the end of my function. So I have written all that sorted array. Then after that, let me say void main. CLR SCR. I need to first create an object, then only I can call it. Insertion sort. Let me say SOBJ is my object. So SOBJ dot input. First I need to call the input function dot sort. Then I need to call my sort function SOBJ dot display. I'll call my display function. Then I will close it. Okay, this completes my program. So I had my input function. I have taken in the values of it. C in N, then again C in A of I, C out A of I, unsorted list I printed, and then here I have this one I is number of passes, and then J is for the comparisons, and for swapping I used a simple if statement with a temporary variable with the help of which I am swapping. After that, what am I doing? I am writing the display wherein I am printing the sorted list. Then I am creating an object and calling the functions. I can also add get ch here. Okay, please have a look, go through that. I know that trace was little confusing, but then you have to, until you do it on paper, you will not understand it. Please take the same array and do it on paper. Please make a note. So now we will see the execution of the program. So let me open that. Open file, insertion.cpp. So I have insertion sort over here. In the private section, I have an array I, j and n. And these are the data members of the class, and these are the member functions of the class which is declared in the public section of the class. Then you have insertion sort. This is the written type of the function, name of the class to which it belongs to, a name of the function. Here I am asking the user to enter the number of elements, taking in reading the elements, as well as I am printing the unsorted list. Then I have the sort function, the one which I showed you the trace. So I have I is equal to 1 because it is the number of passes. Passes are from 1 to n minus 1, and then j is for number of comparisons, and the last value of j is 1 because the last comparison which I did was a of 1 to a of 0. That is why j never takes the value 0, it should be greater than 0. So when j is 1, that time only a of j is a of 1 and a of j minus 1, that is 1 minus 1, that is 0. That comparison gets over at one value of j. So you will be writing j greater than 0, or also you can write j greater than or equal to 1. Since j starts from I, it goes on decrementing for every iteration of the loop, and this comparison I wrote the trace also for you. That is, if it is greater, then you are going to swap using a third variable. After that, I am printing the sorted list in the display function, and then I have my main wherein I have called all the functions in proper order. So let us execute this. Run. Number of elements, let me say 6. Enter the elements 8, 0, 4, 0, 6, 1, minus 9, 7. So you can see the elements of the array before sorting as entered by the user. 4, 0, 6, 1, minus 9, 7. So it was the unsorted list which was entered by the user. And then you have the sorted list which is arranged in ascending order. So this is how your output should be. Hopefully you have understood this. We'll close this. Okay, close it all and quit. Now we'll again go through the algorithm of insertion sort. What they're doing here is they are using the for number of passes and while for comparisons. In your program, I had used both for loops only because it is more easier than writing a while and a for. But then you can write a while also inside a for. Like basically you need to write a loop till the condition. So either you can write both for loops or you can write one for and one while. The thing here is you're writing I is equal to 1 to n minus 1. Yes, 1 to n minus 1 passes and j is equal to I inside the first outer for before while. Don't make this initialization statement inside while. If you make that, it goes to an infinite loop because every time the loop gets executed, it gets reinitialized to I value. So what I'm doing here is in the for loop I had in the statement of the for loop only I had made j is equal to I. So here since it is a while I'm going to make the initial value here j is equal to I, and then while j is greater than or equal to 1. I had written j greater than 0. Both are same like j greater than or equal to 1 or j greater than 0 will give you the same. And then if you're writing an if a of j is less than a of j minus 1. I had also written the same logic. I'm checking since it's in ascending order, I'm checking whether the A of jth element is less than the previous element. If it is true, then I'm going to swap it using a third variable, and then after the while before the for after if inside while only I'm decrementing the value of j by 1. There I had written j minus minus. So either you can write a for or a while, end of while and then end of for. Later, once it exits the while loop, it goes to the for and then gets incremented by 1 and then first line before while j gets value of I. Then j value gets decremented for every iteration of the while, and then depending on the if statements true or false, truth value, if it is true, then you are going to swap using the temporary variable, that is the third variable, otherwise no. So this is how the insertion sort works. Hopefully, you have understood this. Now, please note down the homework questions. Program to sort the elements of an array in ascending order using insertion method. Please write it down, go through that, write the trace yourself. Until you write it, you will not get it. Once you write it, writing programs, once you know how to do that, writing a program is very easy. That is like on paper. If you are able to do it, then program writing is just simple logic. You need to just follow the statements. So don't have make it a habit to mug programs. Understand what you are doing. If you are able to do it on paper, trace it on paper, you can write the algorithm as well as the program without any problem. Stay safe, take care, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.